blocked her
from the beginning.
entrance. Yes, at the beginning, has won the election in the United States, and in no time he's going to take. He's going to assume office, and when that happens, that would, if they didn't quite rush to reappoint her now, it might have proven difficult, and they didn't want anything. They didn't want any vacuum to be in that office. You understand? And I understood that she didn't quite have opposition. Didn't have any, so it was just a smooth sail for her. And I would just say congratulations. I guess she did a very good job, to warrant that reappointment. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So let's go on to other issues very quickly. Quite a lot of other issues that we have to talk about. Where do we even start here? But let's go to the famous tax reform bills, where Northerners have been, angry and talking. Governor Zulum. In fact, let me quickly run Nigerians up with the hot topics that we have this evening. So Zulum, Tinubu's tax reform bills will cripple North. We reject them. And then, Obasanjo, old enough to be Onanuga's father, he will pay for insulting him, Bode Judge. And then, court discharges Acquits 50 Southeast residents labeled as IPOB members. And Senator Ndume insists Tinubu tax reform bills must be stepped down. Queries colleagues over hasty passage. Why did they rush the passer? That's when you talk. Tinubu is not sit-at-home president. Frequent trips in Nigerians' best interests. Presidency says so. And then Tinubu transforming Nigeria like he did in Lagos. French President Macron says so. And Fisayo Shoyombo arrested with suspected criminals at illegal bunkering site, says Nigerian army. We'll move on to other issues very quickly, where Attorney knocks Tinubu over economic hardship, questions his model of excessive borrowing. And then we'll move on. NNPCL slams Rivers community leader, insists Port Harcourt Refinery operational. And federal government's electricity subsidy rises to 269% to 2.4 trillion naira, even while band A and B are paying so much. And then subsidy has still risen to 269%. I thought they said we've removed subsidy, pata. And then appeal court voids rape conviction of Lagos Dr. Femi Olaleye that was said to have raped his wife's niece. Because these are the hot topics that we have. But let's get started very quickly with these tax reform bills very quickly. All right, let's get started very quickly. Babagana Zulum, governor of Borno State, says it will rally lawmakers from North to reject the tax bills proposed by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Speaking with the BBC Hausa, Zulum said previous laws took years of debate, wondering why the proposed legislations are being rushed. Why did they rush them? When other laws, they take longer time before them pass them. He said the bills would cripple the North and boost the economy of Lagos State only. The governor added that the reform would lead to poverty, hunger, and hardship to Northerners. Zulum said Tinubu should remember that the North handed him a chunk of the votes for the 2023 presidential election. He should not ignore our concerns and the rumors that North is not in his favor, he said. He also asked the government not to pressure lawmakers into passing the bills. What we fear is that lawmakers might secretly support the bills and politicians might bribe or persuade their members to vote for them, he added. Now, Zulum urged lawmakers from the North to remain vigilant and protect their interests, as the laws will harm them if passed. He said the laws will harm them if passed. Now, Ali Ndume, who represents South, Borno South in the upper legislative chamber, has also vehemently opposed the tax reforms bills as, every opportunity, including on the floor of the Senate. As a matter of fact, he's got quite a lot to say about the tax reform bills in recent time, where he did say that why are they in a hurry to even pass the bill in the first place? That other bills that had to do with that took months and years to be passed, but why is this one, taking, just a little time? So He said it would be recalled rather that the controversial tax reforms bills passed the second reading at the Senate just yesterday, Thursday. So Senator Ali Ndume has maintained his position that the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's reforms bill be stepped down from the National Assembly. So he again made this comment while speaking on China's television, noting that the pace at which the bill passed through second reading calls for suspicion. It would be recalled that the controversial tax reform bills passed for second reading at the Senate just yesterday. Okay, so quoting him now, some things he said. He says, it is not that I am totally saying that we should throw away the baby with the bathwater, but since the governors who are our leaders, the National Economic Council, and many individuals have said that it is not what we should throw away, it is not we should throw away the bills. No, withdraw the bill, do more consultations, and then bring the bill again. Why are they in a hurry to pass it? He asked. That is a big suspicion, Ndume said. He also disagreed with the timing of the bill, saying the current hunger makes it hard for the reforms to even scale through. He said, I disagree with the timing because Nigerians are struggling to survive. Our forefathers were paying tax. In the north, we pay taxes too. So it is not like we are running away from tax. We pay taxes. Every responsible Nigerian will want to pay tax. But the timing is wrong. At this time that we're so hungry, according to him, the best time to present the bill is when there is no hunger, when people are living and not surviving. He did have quite a lot to say. And Prince Francis Chilaka just also joined us in this conversation. So Prince Francis, I come to you right away. The Borno State Governor's remarks or take on this conversation, that is Zulum's remark, appears more like a threat because he did say that the president shouldn't forget that they did not give him the large chunk of votes, and also threatened that if some senators or National Assembly members supports this bill from behind, that is from the back door, that it will backfire for them. Is that a threat to both the House of Assemblymen, National Assembly members, and the president?
Well, I think what
and why, if it is?
Well, I think what Zulum is trying to do is what is done in every political dispensation. He is not. You won't call it threat, but he's telling you that they have the power for negotiation, they have the power for discussion, and that they want further discussion and debate on it. Yes, everybody's actually asking the same question. Why is there so much hurry to pass this bill at this time? Should we be thinking about tax bill, or should we be thinking about how to curb insecurity and how to take care of food insecurity in the land? And why is it that, the kind of reform we are talking about is not this kind of tax reform? We should start reform from the beginning. Let us start by, first of all, discarding the 1999 Constitution and looking for a constitution that reflects our true federalism. We're talking about culture, our traditions, and our laws. We need to have a constitution that reflects all of that. So maybe what we should do, if we start saying, oh, let states begin to have their own constitution, it will probably be very cumbersome. Why don't we say, okay, we have geopolitical zones, or we have 3 regions. Let the 3 regions come up with their own constitution and bring it to the central. 2, why is it that we're focusing on tax reform and nobody in the Senate, not even the presidency, has talked about the need for a referendum? Is it not time we begin to look for a bill that talks about referendum so that we know this entity called Nigeria, will we continue to exist the way we're existing, where there's so much nepotism, where tribalism has taken over every segment of our lives, where religion has become like an order of the day? So these are the kind of reforms we'll be looking at. Reform that guarantees that I, as an Igbo man, live comfortably in Lagos, contest an election in Lagos, without anybody wielding stick or knife at me. So we should start from there. Let us go and look at the electoral laws. We should start the reform from there and not the tax. So, for me, yeah, Zulum has a point, but I think also trying to remind the president that they gave him vote, to me, is unacceptable. He has been elected as the president of Nigeria, whether we like it or not. The Supreme Court has affirmed him. So the vote of any region really doesn't count anymore.
All right. Prince Ekenobi, I come to you now. The Senator Ali Ndume had complained about why the hasty decision of hasty passage of this particular bill. Why should it be so hastily passed anyway? Should Nigerians be worried? And do you actually think that it's been hastily attended to by the Senate?
Okay, before I answer that question, all right, let me look at the fact that it's democracy. This style of democracy that we are trying to model, I wouldn't say we're modeling after, but we're creating. It has kept us at the prenatal stage of this democracy. We are just now moving forward. And it looks like we're spinning on a concentric schema. If that continues, I don't know how we're going to move forward. So if I speak directly into this tax problem, so to speak, I would say that in recognition to the fact that Nigeria is pretty much taxed, yes, as a country. In other words, we're not generating the much needed tax to be able to develop the way we want or the way we should have, or in comparison to, other countries that actually have a better model tax system, and the revenues generated are also being seen in application when it comes to infrastructure and the things that the monies are meant for can be seen by the people, and actually giving people tax return, because tax has a system. So the problem I have in Nigeria is that you can't want to have this massive reform of your tax system when your minimum wage is still at a very abysmal stage.
But the tax reform also appeals to. I mean, it protects those who earn below 1 million naira in a year, where they would be exempted from tax.
Good.
According to what we heard.
How much are we talking? How much are we talking here?
That means you earn like 100,000 naira. That is those within the minimum wage.
That can't even keep you. You can't even live well. You understand? The problem I have is that those who are supposed to even pay more taxes, even in Nigeria, talk about the corporate bodies and those who even earn more, they are not even paying. They are paying much less. The people they are hounding are those who are earning next to nothing. And that's where the problem is. So if you look at other countries, where they collect up to even 40%, say in the UK or in America or something, their earning capacity is pretty high. So if you remove tax, they still have well enough money to be able to take care of their needs. But that's not here. So if you, for instance, say you earn 30,000 or 70,000, and then they collect pay as you earn, that money can't even take you home. So any attempt to want to remove a dime from that amount, it's for me, it's silly. So what I think the country should do is to be able to invest in infrastructure, provide jobs, raise your minimum wage for people to earn before you can be able to collect, these taxes. Because what they are doing is, okay, fine, maybe because the money they are collecting from IMF and World Bank, they are mandating them to say, you're not taxing your people enough. But they are looking at the same people not being able to better their condition before they can institute this kind of tax structure. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. So, okay, going to what the northern people are saying. So if you look at there's a disparity between the north and the south, right? The north, because of their system, the system their political elite have created, the reason why Zulum and Ndume is shouting, or every other person that is talking, trying to shoot down this particular tax reform, is because they know that the average northern citizen doesn't earn anything. They don't earn anything. And then if you look at even the VAT that they are shouting about, they know that if you look at the redistribution of VAT, it would not favor them. In the past, it has always favored them because, you collect more from Why will anybody have a system, okay, that do not allow alcohol to be sold in your place? It can't be consumed there, but you want the proceed of that same product. You understand? I mean, where you contribute, say, 30%, and then you want to earn 100% when they distribute the money. So it's not equitable at all. And that is what this man, in fairness, I mean, the president, in fairness, trying to redistribute, to say, look, we cannot allow or continue to allow those who contribute more to earn less, you that contribute less to earn more. It doesn't make sense. And I think the northern elite should be able to also restructure how they do stuff, how they do things to benefit their own people. They're supposed to be like an equilibrium compared to what happens in the north, I mean, the south, and then the north. The north need a complete, total restructuring of their own system, because the political elite in the north created this whole disparity that is happening and keep happening. That's why when you try to balance things to do it the way it's supposed to be done, they will start to scream, because they know that it will be against their own people, and they don't have the capacity to make up for whatever heavy shortfall that will come, arise, therefrom. So I think talking about the hastiness, laws are meant to be passed in the assembly. You have people who lobby. So the bill must have been, thrown to the National Assembly, and I bet you the president knows the importance of lobbying, and he may have lobbied the senators to be able to pass this bill for him. For whatever reason, I don't know. But the point is, nobody should talk about the fact that it's quite hasty. He must have done it understanding that there are lobbyists in the system that you can give stuff to say, help me make sure that you pressure those who may be standing either aloof or against this bill to be able to pass it. I need it passed. You understand? That's how it is done. It mustn't take 20 years or that level of consultation.
But do you think that it's because Nigerians are perhaps lacking a bit of confidence in the Senate, considering how hastily they've attended to some things that are of concern to the president, like the national anthem and so many things the president, some executive bills that were sent was, like I said, has been hastily attended to.
Like I said, because of the money that they've been collecting from IMF and World Bank, there may have been some level of pressure to say, look, get this working. Because part of the reason why they are giving them those monies is to be able to say, look, you're not taxing your people enough. The only way you can get money back to pay these debts that you're getting from us is to be able to tax your people. How you do it, we don't know, or we don't care. And that's it. That's my assumption, though. That's what I think. So the hastiness may not be unconnected with the fact that that's like a mandate for him to achieve, from the people who are, lending
and then
him money.
Considering a Senate President Akpabio who says that whatever the president brings here, it should be consented.
That's even another.
Should that be another reason why Annalyn Dume and Zulum should be worried?
If that is the case, look, we have a large chunk of the northern personalities at the Senate and even House of Representatives. So if you think that the North continues to maintain a block, then you might lie, because with this president at the helm of affairs, there is not going to be any block. He is going to use a system that he
unblock
exactly
unblock the blocks,
and then team them up. And that's what I think.
All right. So let me quickly run to this case.
But wait, let me add this. If based on what Kenny has just said, pans out like IMF, World Bank giving conditions, then it means we seem to have sold our sovereignty to these two organizations.
Of course.
Because yes,
literally.
Yeah, because if they are the ones dictating to the president,
but those are the conditions they gave.
I know. If they are giving conditions and your president is accepting, that means they are the ones dictating.
Yes.
So I would, if that is the case, then there is more to this bill than really meets the eye. And I'm shocked, Precious. I'm shocked that governors and senators and leaders from the southeast are not talking. Yes, because this is a bill that affects all Nigerians. And I'm surprised that they're not talking. So is it that they're comfortable with it? Or is it that they're just like docile, let us not talk and then be tagged?
But you know how they do.
But it's really, really sad because I have noticed that the North has come out, voicefully to say, we don't want, it's not that they don't want the bill, but they're saying, let there be more consultations. Now, for me, I think what we should be doing first and foremost is ensuring that Nigeria has one law. This whole idea of having the Sharia law practiced in the North, the penal code in
the penal code, that's in the North.
In the North,
and
then
criminal code.
The criminal code. We need to let it go, and that is why I keep saying the pain of our problem today as a nation is the 1999 obnoxious document. We need to shred it and get ourselves back online. Other than that, I know that the North is going to fight this bill, but like the governor has said. Some people might be bribed. Some people might be coerced. Don't forget, some people might be told, your next ticket to 2027, if you don't support this bill...
Incidentally, the guys that have been championing this, the passage of this bill, notably are from the North. They've been heavily lobbied. Personal interest plays a role. Political... it's no longer... the North cannot continue to have a bloc. This is not one of those items that they can form a bloc and succeed. It's not possible. It's not. Majority of the people who have been interested in passing this bill are from the North. Yeah. So that's what I think. And whether it's hasty or not, that's not going to be in question. But I think it's coming from the fact that IMF and World Bank, their conditions must be met.
All right. So let's move on to other issues, which may be slightly linked to this. As the residents of Anambra State were, the Federal High Court in Abuja on Friday today discharged and acquitted no fewer than 50 persons from the Southeast region who were accused of being members of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. Now, the residents of Anambra State, they said they were arrested by the Nigerian police force on December 12, 2023. It's not yet December. Okay. At Umunze village, Uguaguata
disappears. But see, I need to say this with all sense of responsibility, and I need to tell the Nigerian police, it is something they need to change. I don't know why all the IGs we have had, none has been able to overturn that. You don't arrest people and begin to start investigation. You are supposed to finish your investigation before arrest, so that once you arrest and you charge the case to court, you have your empirical evidence to present. But unfortunately in Nigeria, no. The EFCC, the DSS, the police, the army, the first thing first is arrest, detain, and then we'll start an investigation. And secondly, we this is also an appeal to all law enforcement agencies in Nigeria. It is not all the young people in the Southeast that believe in the IPOB ideology. And it's not all Southeasterners are members of IPOB. IPOB is an organization. Just like you have the OPC in Lagos. You have the Arewa in the North. You cannot say because somebody has done something, you say the entire North or the entire Yorubas. This profiling needs to stop. It needs to stop. And that is why you have too many checkpoints in the Southeast. Because suddenly the federal government believes that every household in the Southeast is IPOB. Well, that is not the truth. But I'm happy that, Justice Omotoso has seen the need to set them free. I hear that there are still more people in detention all over the Southeast and even in Abuja. And then even the Eze of Ajay State you talked about, is it not sad? Is it not painful? Is it not a shame and slap on the face of the Southeast leaders that one of theirs has been in detention since 2023 after the elections till date, and nothing is being done?
Forgotten.
And it's like the man has been forgotten. So, Igbo leaders, Southeast leaders, you guys need to do more. You guys need to form a way to protect your people. That is why you're elected. That is why the people have handed over their sovereignty to you. They didn't hand it over to you for you to go to bed or for you to, they handed it over to you for you to provide, protect, and give them a sense of direction.
Okay, so let me add this, right? So you see that there is formal understanding of even having a child, your biological child, and then you think because you gave birth to the child, that the child must love you. Parenting had even changed. Ownership of a child has changed. A child calls a person my mother, my father, my parent, when you have the best interest of that child at heart. So that brings us to the type of democracy that we're running. Fortunately, it is called representative government. And if the Southeasterners, like every other tribe in Nigeria, would come out and vote their own people in a country called Nigeria, where everybody tend to represent their own people when you get to the center, and then they vote these people in to go and represent them. Because like I said, sovereignty is everybody have the chance, the opportunity to be what whoever that is in Abuja is, will be it House of Representative or a governor. I could have been that, but if I say no, let this man or this woman go and represent me, the person should actually do my bidding, make sure that my interest is protected. But that's not what we're getting. So in resounding what Priscilla has said, it is the fact that those who are representing the Igbo extractions are not doing well. And I think it's high time this style of doing things stopped. It's really high time. How is it that you arrest people? If you didn't read it here, many people don't even know. These guys, they know. Nobody is talking about. The guys in Abuja, the people in the government, they know that these people were arrested. I'm not even talking about the fact that the police did a very not too good a job. Because how would you arrest people, wrong profiling, and then you take them to Abuja, knowing that the court system, no matter how bad our court system is, it still works on the principle of evidences provided. Without evidence, nobody is supposed to be convicted in any court of law. You arrest before you begin to investigate. And I thank God for that judge that took the right decision to release these people who didn't quite do anything. In the first place, they were not supposed to have been arrested. But what is more worrying is the fact that those who are representing them in various departments of government nobody even rose to speak or even remind the world what is going on. Everybody kept mute, everybody kept mum, as if it never happened. And that is one type of style of this kind of a thing has been happening, for too long. And it's about time we began to call out those who are supposed to be doing what they're supposed to do that are not doing it, call out their names and call them out, basically, to let them know that they have a job to do. This kind of a thing shouldn't be happening. It looks like the North, not that it looks like, I think they are better organized politically. When it comes to anything that bothers the North, they come together and address it. Even the Southwest, you understand, every other, South even, but the Southeast is always always found wanting when it comes to this kind of a thing. It's all about personal businesses, whatever that lines their pockets, they're interested. If it's not, they will look the other way. It shouldn't be happening. I think it's a shame, and it really has to stop. That's what I think.
All right, let's move on to
Each time we talk about the Southeast, I always try to take people back down memory lane. Unfortunately, in Nigeria, we don't study history.
Oh.
We need to, a lot of our Southeastern leaders need to go and read about the role played by the likes of Sam Mbakwe of blessed memory. Yes. If I don't have anybody to hold on to, he's one man that took his time to try to fight for the Southeast. He never hid it.
It's there in history.
Yes. So people should read. People should not just keep quiet. This kind of people we have in the Federal House of Rep, in the Senate, in the State Houses of Assembly, it's just like they're just there, sleeping away and collecting salaries and constituency project allowance at the end of the day.
All right, so let's move on to other conversations very quickly. Moving in now. All right. So, this is a long one. So, a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Discharges, has said that Bayo Onanuga, President Bola Tinubu's special advisor on information and strategy, will face consequences for disrespecting former President Olusegun Obasanjo. Recall that Obasanjo, while delivering a keynote address in Chinua Achebe's Leadership Forum, held at Yale University, New Haven, Connecticut, USA, issued a scathing critic to, a scathing critic of Nigeria's current state under President Bola Tinubu. And of course, Bayo Onanuga reacted to that in a way that Bodigeorge seemed or deemed unfit for a younger person to react to the senior person. But the same Bayo Onanuga now also did say something about the president's trip, by the way. So whilst the president is in France and the Nigerians are complaining that should we be traveling and having all these trips amidst paucity of funds and the fact that we're near bankrupt, as stated by the president, rather, the presidency, through Bayo Onanuga, justifies the trip or the frequent trips generally, says that its marketing strategies to woo international investors as Nigeria grapples with economic chaos. And that's what many who support the president also think. Now, it speaks to one, quoting the statement now, it says it speaks to one important fact. Presidents are the chief marketers of their countries. When they travel and go to these forums, they also meet other world leaders for a reason. Presidential spokesperson Sunday Dare also reaffirmed this, in a television interview. Meanwhile, the French president, Emmanuel Macron, has said that President Bola Tinubu is transforming Nigeria the way he transformed Lagos State, and he's brought him fit to transforming Nigeria. Meanwhile, on the other hand, the Afenifere group is saying that, hey, this kind of economic hardship that is hard like this, and the tenure of President Bola Tinubu, that it should not be, that people are suffering under his tenure. Where are the citizens, ordinary citizens of Nigeria, in the midst of all of this back and forth? I can help you. Let me start with you, please.
Okay, so say when two elephants fight.
Nagrandi Sofaram.
I want you to complete it.
Nagrandi Sofaram.
In democracy, or rather, let me put it this way: that government exists anywhere in the world for the people to benefit. All right. And democracy has been defined as government of the people, for the people, by the people. So the people in the same three sentences. So you find that the people is the dominant factor there. If you don't take care of the people, if you tend to deceive the people, then there will be a problem. So let's go to Obasanjo's statement in faraway America, trying to criticize the government. Not just government of the day, but government before this government, or governments before this government. Obasanjo had been speaking, and if anybody will agree with me, since Obasanjo's era, 1999 to 2007, also, Obasanjo did quite laudable things that are very much recorded in history, or documented, if you like. He did, his reforms were fantastic. His fiscal and, fiscal policy reforms were fantastic. Monetary policy was good. Nigeria cleared her debt, and then a whole lot was working. And then he assembled an array of mix of, personalities all across Nigeria. He was able to technocrat, that is, yes. All right. He was able to, even the people he appointed, most of them, like Ngozi Okanjiwala, many of them, he didn't quite know them. All right. People will recommend them, and then you go like, oh, is the person good? Let me interface with the person, and then that's how they get appointment. Soludo and the rest of them. So he had a well-balanced cabinet, and they worked. Subsequently, those who took office after him had to bury the gains that his administration made, and they continue to speak up until today. It shouldn't be baffling to anybody that the current president has about 3 spokespersons.
13.
No, 3 major now. Laolu, Buala, and Ononuga. Okay? I mean, you can only imagine what all of them will be jostling to say. In fact, if anything happens now, when they say the presidency has spoken, you don't even know who is speaking. Whoever that speaks, if you're first to speak, speak. That's it. It covers everybody. But you see, if you have a kind of government where you either want to, you have the idea of anything I do, just say something. If you say something, that should suffice. Whether anybody likes it or not, they should go home to sleep. I have a problem with Bayo Ononuga defending even what is indefensible, right? I mean, criticisms are meant to strengthen a system. They're meant to, put a person on his or her toes, in this case, the president. So put him on his toes to be able to do the right thing in case he's going the wrong way, because nobody knows it all. If you have a policy that's not working, and then people, those who have been there or know better, try to point out what you should have done, and you don't look into it to see where you must have gone wrong to see how you can correct it. But what you'll be interested is, look, anybody that talks against that policy or the administration, you are ready to attack like a dog. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't really make sense. So Ononuga should tone down, if I were him, and try to be a bit more soft-spoken, because the things that Obasanjo mentioned are the realities of Nigeria. He's not attacking the president because he hates him. He's mentioning the things that are going wrong for them to be looked into. That said, we'll go into the president being in France and Emmanuel Macron trying to eulogize his strategy to let him know that, look, you're doing well. The magic you did in Lagos, you are replicating that again in Nigeria. For me, that's a farce, because we have seen what's going on. We're not saying the president is not trying, but the policies, I think he should review them again. What is happening right now is that Nigeria is almost on its knees. In other words, the way things are now, if we continue in this trajectory, I don't know where we're going to land. And because of the fact that I think France has, lost a couple of countries that are French-speaking, around the Sahel area, they are looking for a strategic partner, to hang on to, or to, collaborate with, so that they can regain their power in West Africa, because they've almost lost it. And you can see what these people are doing, switching to Russia. Russia is another, bloc, like another power that is also playing its own influence in the Sahel region. And no Western country will be comfortable with what is going on. So getting Nigeria and Nigerian government listening to them it's a win-win for France. And it's a very good thing for them. So politically, if he tells our president that he's doing very well, you can't blame him because, I mean, he's there in France. There's nothing else he should say other than what he has said, whether right or wrong. You may see it as being wrong based on what you're facing, but they too are trying to regain their own good standing with a very strategic partner in West Africa called Nigeria. Because if Nigeria accepts to do quite a whole lot with France, that's quite some influence they have. And they will believe that they haven't lost anything. And that's a very good one for France. And then Afenifere is saying these policies are stifling and also choking Nigerians. It's here for everybody to see. But one thing that annoyed me in what they said, in the body of that analysis, is to say, oh, looking now that it's about December, try and see how you can provide some kind of palliative and all of that. When I heard that, I was like, no, you've said quite some things that are interesting, but that word palliative, I don't want to hear it, because that is, when you mention palliative in Nigeria, it's so belittling, it's ridiculing. I don't even know how to address it. They should be able to put policies that would provide jobs, create massive infrastructures for people to go and use their talents to earn a living. That is what, long term, they should have a short term, medium term, and then long term policies that should be able to help people. This country needs help. It needs help. And I'm glad that human beings are ruling this country. But for me, they are not doing what are supposed to be done in order to get this country out of the woods.
All right, Prince Francis Chilaka, you've been itching to say something. Let me let you jump in on it.
I really don't understand where Afenifere is coming from. I remember during the campaigns when Pa Adebayo was hitting it, that look, you guys don't know what is coming. You guys, there's going to be a tsunami. And everybody was, at the point, they wanted to deny him as a Yoruba man. So what are they talking about now?
No, but this is actually an Afenifere for UK, United Kingdom.
No, it doesn't. Afenifere is Afenifere. Okay. So I don't understand what they're talking about. We're all in it. We're already in it. We all continue to swim in it. Like I've said, Nigeria is a failed state already. It's just the people that are holding it. If it is leadership, the Nigeria state.
So you agree with what Obasanjo said, that
Nigeria is a failed state, okay, whether we like it or not. Now, coming to Macron, I know that the business that they were doing in Mali and all of that was packing their mineral resources. Yes, everybody knows that. So I guess
those countries are French colonies.
What were they benefiting from them? It was the mineral resources. So I know that for Macron to be, so much engaged and embracing President Bola Tinubu, it's all about what they stand to benefit. And it's nothing short of our mineral resources. So I'm sure that they want to find a deal, they want to find a soft landing where they can still cut away, just like the Chinese are doing, cutting away all the mineral resources.
Unfortunately, all the world powers, that's what it is.
Yes, and then Nigerian government keep providing security personnel for them to move columbite, tantalite, zircon sand from different states, provide mobile policemen.
Are you sure Nigerian government is aware of this? This is an accusation on air.
This is, what do you mean accusation? The items are not being moved from the backyard. They are shipped through the ports.
But are these the minerals that we should be making money from? We have a minister of solid minerals. Should he not be aware of this and ensure that these loopholes are covered?
The federal government concentrates every other mineral resources that we have.
Yes, nobody is interested.
More like it's like they are doing side business with it.
But gold is a big business, and we have gold in the north.
You have gold in the north. I stand here to tell you, authority.
Gold is currently in its highest, almost its peak price.
This is what has exacerbated the security system in the north. When you talk about banditry, is maintained today and expanded because of these deposits of mineral resources that is not the focus of federal government. Do you understand? So they are doing people are doing side business with them. Whether they are connected to those who are in government, okay, to give them some kind of leverage to do so unofficially, that remains to be seen. But these guys, the illegal people, are mining this on a daily basis. And then you also said that we have Minister of Mining. Solid mineral mining, and they are not even talking. Nobody's arrested. That's the sad part of it.
I tell you authoritatively, Nigeria has 33 mineral occurrences of highest grade in the world. 33. 70% of these mineral occurrences are in the north. So what is happening to them? Severally, you've heard that a mining site collapses in Jos and kills a lot of people. Who are those mining it? They're illegal miners. So what they get out from those mining sites, who takes responsibility for it? Where do they take them to? So it's not a matter of having a minister for solid minerals. It's a matter of, does the minister even know what he's doing in the ministry? Who gives, a lot of people will tell you they have licenses for mining. Who gives them the license?
Exactly.
So for me, I think that France has, fallen out with its the
former colony.
So now they're looking for, like you said, they're looking for a soft landing. And Nigeria, don't forget, this is almost like 4 times, 5 times your president is going to France. And in all of these visits, which Anonuga is promoting, that the president, has to go around, where are the investments?
I haven't seen any foreign.
Where are the investors? We're not seeing them. We haven't seen any of them. So Mr. President is just wasting the scarce resources we have.
And to add to this, you don't even need to lobby or woo anybody to come to your country. If you're doing the right thing and people are seeing that you have stable monetary policy, you have stable tax system and all of that, investors will come. As soon as they see that you're taking care of the local industries, right? SMEs are thriving and things are moving, they will flow in. They don't need to be told.
All right, so
sorry.
Okay.
In the 8 years of Buhari, he became a jala, traveling from one country to the other. At the end of the 8 years, which was a waste to Nigerians, there was no single investor that came in. This one has continued. Well, like you said, he will continue from where, the former president stopped. But then talking about Baya Nanuga and all that, everybody knows that he is one man who likes to talk. He just opens his mouth and the thing will flow out. So why are people bothered? All this, you remember when he decided to fight, when he decided to drag Peter Obi? From Peter Obi to Atiku. So he just, that is an attack dog. Yeah. Why Onanuga is an attack dog. And that is why Ngelele could not work with him.
How do you know that for sure? You're on radio.
You didn't you see several times that he will release something, Ajun Ngelele will say, this is wrong. He's that kind of person. He likes to talk. He likes to be a boss. He likes to show himself.
But then should that be a good image maker for the president if what you're saying is correct?
Okay.
It
is the spirit of Emiloko.
Okay, so moving on, I'm sure we all, Nigerians should ordinarily be excited that our refineries can now refine fuel after so many years. We heard the controversy by one youth leader in Alessa Ileme, saying that these are not even fuels that have been released. These are fuels that have been in storage for more than 3 years and they're not refining anything per se. That is just a skeletal work going on there. But NNPC has refuted that and said that no, that they're working. Who should we believe now? Because ordinarily, on one hand, Nigerians should have been excited and very happy that at last we're now refining fuel so that it may just cushion the effect of whatever it is that we're going through with fuel now and support Dangote. But on the other hand, it looks like there's no much excitement in the air.
You said support Dangote.
It is
Dangote Refinery that should actually be supporting the Nigerian refinery. Because the Nigerian refinery ought to have been more richer than Gote.
Well, the president has been excited about this and says that the
president will be excited. The thing is, we must say the truth, speak truth to power. Nigerians have lost faith in their government. And so whatever that comes from the mouth of the government, people take it with a pinch of salt. People don't believe in it. And come to face the reality. If Port Harcourt Refinery is to work, knowing what has gone under, it is not a work that will be in secret. It is something that it is the people around the environment that will say, something is happening inside this place. So they will even carry the news before NNPCL. But unfortunately, what did we see? We just heard that they are lifting petrol. The tankers are coming in. Precious.
Sir?
Precious.
Sir?
Our mugu don't do. Our mumu don't do. Whatever NNPCL wants to say, it will take the coming of Jesus Christ for them to convince Nigerians. Even Mr. President himself is not convinced. But he has to say it because he's the president.
But he has charged them to ensure that they get to work and ensuring that the second Port Harcourt Refinery starts working and starts operation. Okay. And Kaduna and Warri would also start
Since
operation.
We talked about the lifting of petrol from the refinery, how many have they lifted so far? And how much are they selling for?
Okay, so
I cannot be. You want to say something quickly, please?
Let me just add to this confusion going on, because yes, NNPCL had told Nigerians. It happened like you talked about the tax bill. This one seemed to have happened so fast. All of a sudden, boom! They are telling you they are. Over 200 tankers will lift out fuel from that refinery. Okay, so the trust deficit between the Nigerian people and the government that are ruling them has continued to expand. Why do I say so? This government seems to have laid a very, very not too good a foundation, right? With the way they disseminate information to the people. Most of the things they've said in the past haven't really turned out to be true. And then the government don't seem to believe, the people don't seem to believe them anymore. So whether or not this is true, that's not what bothers me. What bothers me is the fact that if you say you're refining, or rather the excitement should actually come when you say you're refining locally. We are more interested in how much you're going to dispense fuel per liter to marketers or whoever is going to be selling to us. I've heard that, someone said they are going to be selling at 1,030 naira. If we're selling 1,030 naira from Port Harcourt Refinery, where the crude is actually extracted, and Dangote's refinery is somewhere in Lagos, where if government will have to give Dangote the 650 barrels that they give him to refine, they will actually transport it from there to Lagos. And Dangote refines and then he's selling at 970. How is it possible that a Nigerian government-owned refinery would come out with a product at 1,030 naira, higher than Dangote or even the ones that are imported from abroad? That's the question we should be asking. Or are they cashing into the fact that we usually, when there is scarcity in Nigeria, Nigerians will go like, we are suffering too much. Let it be available. If we see it at any amount, they may charge they're available. Any amount, we'll buy them. Maybe they are leveraging on that to be able to manipulate or treat them the way they have spoken. And that's what bothers me. The amount, I don't care if Warri, One, all the refineries in Nigeria, and even add more, starts to work. What bothers me is the amount to Nigerians. If it doesn't come cheap, then we shouldn't be talking about whether Port Harcourt is refined, and then everybody is rejoicing as if that's a novelty idea.
No, can I please, point
stuff.
of order. When you say everybody, not everybody.
Well, many people.
Not many people. Maybe you need to go to X. You need to go. People are not rejoicing.
People are just.
Like.
It's not even an issue to talk about.
Yes, people are wondering what is really going on.
How much are we talking here? On? And then they've also reduced Port Harcourt Refinery to a blending plant now, and then they are trying to explain that off.
And you know that blended petrol.
It's not. No.
It's not good for the car.
No.
It kills your engine.
So, but it is what it is, yeah? So.
All right, so let's get straight to electricity now, where some Nigerians don't understand what's going on there. And we thought to ask a few questions. News just reaching us has it that the federal government's annual electricity subsidy has risen by 269% to 2.4 trillion naira in 2024. That is the tariff where federal government they pay on top of electricity. It don't go up.
That's in terms
this
of
is
subsidy,
despite
right?
Because the last time they paid tariff, it was 640 billion naira in 2023. That is the subsidy for electricity was 650 billion naira in 2023. But this year now, 2024, it's in a jump to 2.4 billion naira. And Nigerians are worried. Excuse me, was it not this year you gave us band A, B, and C, where we're generating more, revenue? I don't know if you've also noticed that if you buy electricity, you pay for electricity bill now, you're paying taxes inclusive. Have you noticed? About, I think, some sort of 2.3.5, I think 7.5% or 8% VAT or so is built into it. But how possible is it that Nigerians are now paying more? Nigeria as a country is now paying more for subsidy on electricity at a time when electricity or the entire ministry has generated more fund because of the bandedness. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
So far, how possible is that? Remember that this same electricity, Sadiq, what was that our former minister's name? Ahmed. I know that Minister Ahmed, I've forgotten her. Sadiq Ahmed or so, had told us, is that her name? Forgive me, please. Had told us, it is, go and Google it, you see it, that the federal government has systematically removed subsidy from electricity. That period that it was looking like every 2 or 3 months, you'll be seeing increments in electricity. Those were her words. That is the way the federal government will systematically also remove subsidy from other items. Then how is it that that subsidy then from electricity was removed then? And now that we thought it was removed, they banded us because they said they wanted more money for electricity. After the bandedness, that we're now generating more fund because of the band A, band B, that most families can no longer even afford electricity. We're now paying three times or more subsidy. In subsidy. We need it to make sense to us, please.
It wouldn't make sense because, these people come out with some kind of or action that would confuse you even the more.
The reason why this is very troubling, I don't know whether you know that some companies in Nigeria are in comatose because of electricity issues.
Absolutely.
I know companies who used to pay just about 10 million naira thereabouts for electricity bills that are paying over 30 to 40 million naira now. That is the swift movement from 10 million to 50 million. How will any company survive?
Listen.
Some companies have even written to be disbanded from A and brought back to, most of these companies were not even originally on band A. They were moved from band C and B to band A. And they decided paying much. And then I said, remove us from there. We don't want to pay again. But they refused. And they're paying this huge chunk of money. How will any business in Nigeria survive? And we're looking for investors to come and invest money in our country.
That's where I'm going to. See, it's ridiculous, right? If you look at what happens in Nigeria, if you look at what happens in Nigeria with regards to government and their activities and everything, it's so confusing that if you hear what happens, you will get more confused. Who would you explain this thing to that wouldn't even get more confused? How is it possible that when you were paying subsidy, it was at a very, in comparison to what we have now, very reasonable amount? Then you started to increase every 6 months, 3 months, all manner of increment was going on. And then the only way you could explain to Nigerians to justify those increments was to say, look, subsidy had been removed. this is electricity bill as it's supposed to be. And now we're hearing that even the subsidy that was being paid before, it's almost like times 3 of what is being paid as subsidy from the backyard. I mean, if there's anything, the right authority should investigate. I don't even need to speak more. I don't even need to delve into the confusion. Let them investigate. If they really, really want to bring anybody to book, it's all up to them.
Precious.
Sir?
Ekede? Are we still in this country? This is a country on the 29th of May 2023. Mr. President, while delivering his inauguration speech, said subsidy on petrol is what? Gone. We're still grappling with that. And the next thing we heard was like the bandwagon and band X and band of, The president also told us that people have been benefiting from subsidy and that they will be brought to what? Book. Nobody has been brought to book. Not one person. And then when people started saying that the government was paying subsidy, the government said, no, we're not paying subsidy. But there was a language, there was a word they used. I'll try and remember the word.
Recovery.
Shortfalls.
Shortfalls.
Undercovery, shortfalls.
And all of that, yes.
So they gave us different definitions just to confuse us. I had thought, like every other Nigerian, just like you, just like Precious, I had thought that when the Minister of Power told us to stop using our freezer overnight and stop putting on our AC and stop putting on our bulb, we had thought that the whole essence of that was that subsidy too was gone. So for the government to be talking of paying subsidy that is 3-4 times what was paid last year, when people were still receiving estimated bills, this is what I keep saying. This government seems to be thriving on propaganda. This government says one thing in one hand, in one breath, and does another thing in the other hand. And that is why the people don't trust anything that comes from government. How do you want Nigerians to now come to the reality that government has been subsidizing electricity for them when a lot of homes now don't even have light? Because you're buying 10,000 naira recharge, 2-3 days or 5 days, 6 days maximum, it is finished. So this whole thing resonates Fela's, legendary Fela's music, government magic. That is it. Government will use paper, they will use word, they will use grammar, they confuse everybody, confuse themselves, confuse the populace. At the end of the day, somebody is smiling to the bank at the detriment of all Nigerians.
All right, so let's quickly visit this case of Dr. Olaleye, as the Court of Appeal in Lagos has nullified the rape conviction of Femi Olaleye, the managing director of Optimal Cancer Care Foundation, somewhere in the Surulere axis of Lagos. It's quite popular then. In a ruling delivered today, Friday, the appellate court held that the lower court made an error in its judgment, leading to Olaleye's discharge and acquittal. Now, this development follows his October 2023 conviction by the Special Offences and Domestic Violence Court in Lagos. The lower court had on 2 counts defilement of a child and sexual assault by penetration. You would recall that this is the case of a man who was said to have raped his wife's nephew living with them, who was a minor. I think she was 13, 14. In fact, the girl said he's been doing it for about 3 years in their house and threatened her that if anything happened, would deal with you. And this is a man who, had a hospital, a doctor. Remember, there were videos of him too that made the round at that time, where it was shown that he was having some, intercourse with women who were in his hospital. But most of them, we couldn't tell if he was on consent or not, because most of them were awake and looked like they were obliged, but they were recorded. these were recorded videos. They were recorded videos of him doing that, which is unethical for a medical doctor, many would say, and at that point. So he was convicted for raping the wife's nephew. Kate Henshaw then, pushed this case because he was even Kate Henshaw's doctor, I think she said so, but she wouldn't stand for such. So she helped push the case and all that. But now the appeal court has said he's no longer guilty and has overturned it. And at the time that case was pushed, there were a series of rumors that, this man knows a lot of people from the high and mighty in Lagos and other places, that they may not eventually convict him. And that's why at the point he was convicted, people thought that justice had been done. What changed?
It's part of the problems that we've been talking about. So if you look at our judicial system, then you find that, it's really hard to say. Very, very hard to say. I don't know what they must have presented at the level of appeal court to have this acquittal. I really don't know. I know that every judicial system, thrives on evidence. Okay, I don't know what counter evidence have been presented against the Federal High Court decision to, have him behind bars. I don't know what must have been represented to be able to have him off the cuffs. And it's really, I really don't know. But whatever it is, maybe we will hear much later what the court used as evidence, new evidence or nuanced story to acquit him. But if we had those videos, which were quite forensic, to make
those were not minors, those were adults, but patients.
But no, the doctors were not supposed to do that. Remember what happened to the doctor in the UK, right? You're not supposed to take advantage as a doctor, part of the...
but if it was on consent?
No, you don't need to. You're not supposed to do that in the hospital. If it's on consent, it has to be outside the hospital. Because at the time the person is in your custody, you have the power to use any form of injection to induce the person. Do you understand? You're not supposed to do that in any way, shape, or form. That is against the medical ethics of that profession. So, but here in Nigeria, anything goes really. I don't know what they used to acquit him. Maybe we'll get to hear later. But it's unfortunate, though.
I think the appeal court is the first of all threw out all the witnesses, and they said that they were not reliable and all of that,
including the account of the young girl who was
they were not reliable.
Now, this is the problem with our judicial system, and this is why a lot of women get raped and they can't go to court. I run a foundation, and I can tell you authoritatively that we've handled quite a number of rape cases. Most of the rape cases end at the police station. They just throw it out. Most of them. Because by the time you report, and if the person has the funds, the resources, the connection, even the police will tell you to take the person away.
But this is his own wife here that is prosecuting.
Did the wife?
Do you know how many wives?
Did the wife support the
nephew? The wife is saying that no, that if you did this sorry to my niece, then I'm not having it.
Do you know?
This is the wife who's pushing the case.
Precious.
Okay, cool.
Do you know how many wives get raped by their husbands?
Oh. Ekene can rape his wife. Sorry, I'm using it for example.
Okay,
Apologies.
Do you know?
So you can rape your wife?
Let me tell you the truth. Nigerian legal system has no respect for the Nigerian woman. No matter how you want to hide it, no matter how you want to pretend.
Unfortunately.
That's just the truth.
Is that why the new thing now is that a woman who wants to renew her passport, if she had a marital name in that passport, and she wants to change it perhaps to a maiden name, she'll have to go and meet the husband first of all to bring his own data copy of his passport to change it.
Is that what they said?
That's what some people are going through right now.
So the Nigerian law still sees the
else
woman,
you can't change. So you keep answering his name.
It still sees the woman as second-class citizen. It's a big problem. So when I hear women saying, "Oh, we are feminists, we are this," I laugh because what the women should fight for, they don't fight for it.
And what should that be?
Their rights. Yes. You remember, I'm sure you remember, was it 2 years or 3 years back, the Supreme Court gave a landmark judgment on inheritance in the Southeast,
Yes.
saying that the female children have a right, just like the male. How many people are implementing it? How many?
Very sure.
So as I am like this, if my father were to be from Abia States, I don't care how many brothers I have, I can take
That
property.
is what the law says. But how many people are following it? How many?
Let's open phone lines.
these
Nigerians are itching to jump in on this conversation.
These are issues that I expect women to come out. While this case was going on, where were all the women advocates? They all disappeared.
They didn't. Those who spoke, but perhaps
So
their voices were not amplified.
the women must rechannel their energy to fighting for their rights
All
in
right.
a proper way.
Thank you.
Not by becoming feminist.
Thank you. Let's phone lines are open. Let's
You
quickly
didn't
jump-
talk about why we're talking about that before you open your phone line. I want to congratulate my own sister.
He congratulated her in your absence. You were not there.
I am proud.
How
She
do you
makes
know?
me proud as an Easterner.
How do you know
as
the
an
sister was
Igbo
a
person? Yes.
Okay.
Okonjo-Iweala. Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is a woman.
Thank you on her behalf.
This is a woman I expect all Nigerian ladies to emulate.
Don't mention.
I told my daughter
On our
something.
behalf.
No, I told my daughter something this morning. I said, see your
See your mates.
I said, see your phone. He said yes. I said, oh yeah, type this name. I said, I want you to read about her. I said, Chimamanda, Okonjo-Iweala, read about them. When I come back, tell me what you've learned. Every day, I want you to be reading about them. I want you to see them as your role model. These are the kind of women we want in this country. Not all these other women who are busy looking for political power.
What's wrong with politics? Lagos phone lines are open 0700 903 903 903. The WhatsApp line is 0817 175 6338. Again, you come out your mouth with that matter. You know fish out. Phone lines are open, Lagos. WhatsApp line is 0817 175 6335. And the direct line is 0700 903 903 903. Hello, good evening and welcome. Are you there? You people cannot use this to welcome me. I'm not having it. All right, going straight to your messages. The North knows that President Tinubu has an interest in tax collection in Lagos under Alpha Beta. So taxes for Lagos, more money for Alpha Beta. Oh, whoa. Chooks from Ikorodu sent in that. So is it possible? Chooks says that the North knows that President Tinubu has an interest in tax collection in Lagos under Alpha Beta. So more taxes for Lagos, more money for Alpha Beta. Perhaps that's why they're stopping it.
That's a conspiracy.
It's a conspiracy.
Are you going to send
It's
Alpha
already-
Beta to the North?
Eh.
No, but the whole thing about this tax thing, let's not forget, is that they're going to be a central taxation now. All the MDAs will be stopped. I think they want to move the finances of most of the MDAs out under Federal Inland Revenue.
Now Nigeria Inland going to
Proposed
be
Nigerian-
soon to be Nigeria Inland Revenue.
Good. So I know that custom has been earmarked and other MDAs have been earmarked. They want to take away their finance and put them under.
All right, so moving on, Yusuf from Ijego says, good evening, Precious and the guest. Later, somebody will deny that she's not an APC woman leader. But yesterday, I learned that she went to see Mr. President in the White House. Is a lie. I did not go there. Whoever told you that lied to you. Let them bring evidence. President of France saying that President Tinubu is transforming Nigeria like he did in Lagos is laughable because he was misinformed. Lagosians are not always happy to hear something like this. And then the northern Nigerian politicians have always been mentioning the North in a very selfish way without regarding other region. The northern elites should also remember that despite the fact that North have been leading Nigeria for decades without eradicating poverty in the northern region, and also in other region in Nigeria being bedeviled with poverty. Chinemere from Agbara saying that Precious, oh you're welcome back. Please want part of the money your brother we I did not go to Abuja. Oh. Hey, let me open phone line. I did not go to Abuja. Whoever told you that is misinformation. I was not in Abuja. All right. Thank you. All right. Hello, good evening and welcome.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Welcome. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I know you can't guess who this is.
Your name is what?
You can't guess this person. His name is Joval.
I can hear you. What you say?
Joval.
Oh, Joval.
Joval.
I have to dribble you.
Jova, your voice is not even. I can barely hear you. I don't know if you guys can hear him clearly.
It's a bit muffled.
It's muffled. Your voice is muffled up. Perhaps that's why I didn't get it.
Can I go ahead?
Let's see. Let's see if we can manage. Go ahead. All right.
I agree with you, man.
And Mr. Keno beat my man.
Well done, bro.
Precious, you ran away yes 2 days ago, but no problem. You didn't tell us, so welcome back.
Thank you.
There was this news that Precious read. That this is subsidy that they pay to it.
Jovi, I think you need to call us back. The line is really, really muffled. Please try to call us back. Hello, good evening and welcome. Hello. All right. I don't understand what's happening, but the lines are really messed up. All right. Precious, good evening. Is it because I did not hear your voice yesterday that it made me forget the name of Nigerian president? Please remind me the name. Anapo from Cook. Anapo. Why are you doing like this? Why? Why are you like this? Hello, good evening and welcome.
Hello, Precious, good evening.
Welcome. Go ahead. What's your name, sir?
My name is NJBJ. I'm calling from Ibadan, Lagos.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you for the good work you are doing. May God bless you.
Ami lórúkọ Jésù.
Amen. I'm talking to my brothers in the studio, Kena and Chilaka. I quite understand what they have said very well and understand everything they have said. When we are growing up, my father used to tell us one adage. He said, when you want to about something, you understand very well.
Exactly.
Meaning is share water.
Yes.
Meaning is water. So please interpret. No, you don't have permission to continue. You cannot tell us this and not continue. Please interpret,
Okay, I will interpret this. If the man does not run or go for shelter until rain, wait him very well. Yes.
Don't deep go.
Now, my brothers in the southeast and those of us in Lagos here, in 2015, we had a press conference at Okora here to conscientize our people about the effect of Igbos in Lagos and in Nigeria as a whole. I really understand why our people are very, very dozer and very crowd. And our people have to be woke up to know our position in Nigeria, because the way things are going these days, one day we will find ourselves to be called sorry. So I'm pleading to every Igbo man or every woman. What happened during the time of Abara Igbo right? Let it happen again. The things our Igbo men have told us, let the Igbo people, the women, now take up the responsibility. 2 days ago, I heard that the women in Abaraka went for a protest. So that they have been kidnapping them for all this work. I want our Igbo ladies to do the same. Thank you and God bless.
All right. Thank you too. Okay. Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, Precious.
You're welcome. Thank you. What's your name?
Assumpta from Mazamaza.
Assumpta, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Gentlemen in the studio.
You're welcome. Good evening.
Okay. I want to comment on the area you said those leaders are not speaking on behalf of their people. You said a northern leader was speaking on behalf of the North concerning this reform. And at the same time, you could say it's also northerners are pushing for that. I did not say that the bound leaders spoke for their people on this matter. Even the people that is starting this deal is the Obama. It's not for now you're satisfied their leaders spoke for. So why is it always that?
All right. I think you made your point. I don't know if you managed to pick up what you said, but the line was really, really bad. Oh my goodness. I don't understand what was happening to my phone lines. But let's see if we can get a clearer call. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well done. My name is Innocent. I'm coming from Amu.
You're welcome, Innocent. Go ahead. Welcome.
Please, first of all, you said the president say he's going out for looking for the investors.
Yes, now he's a marketer. Yes, marketing our country.
So what I'm trying to say, this coastal road they are doing, this Calabar road to Lagos, ask me who is doing it. It's not from the France. Is it not France people that are doing it?
So is it France?
That is number one. Just can make more inquiry and know the country that is doing that road from Lagos to this thing for now. And again, let me ask another thing. You know, you say the Southeast people, sometimes they don't gather their things together. So before these people release, do you think that is just nothing goes, there's nothing change hands before the magistrate will now announce this? The police people will surrender. Everybody will surrender. Allow these 30 people to come out. You are in Nigeria. You should think very well on that side. And again, I want to talk about him. Yes, sometimes those are our brothers. When we tell them that we start sitting at home, sit at home, they are doing a service. Now they can't win. Nobody will bring him out of that chair. They think that we are trying to propaganda. People, man, don't see. They cannot learn the old age, left hand in the old age. They are not good in uniting. And everybody is using it against them. They are not good in uniting. So don't expect when you join any Igbo group think that you are going to get anything better result. You will not, nobody on your own. So thank God for this man that those people that is saying on Monday we are going to sit at home unless they release this man. That is angry. You know, Indian man, if you provoke Indian man, is ready to enter fire. So to show you how angry he is. So Nigerian Igbos are now protesting by Monday they sit at home. Let them see that we are crying. We are looking for them to answer us. Thank you.
You know, when people talk about
Really?
this sit at home, I think a lot of people are ignorant. A lot of Igbo people are delusioned. You sit at home every Monday because you want Nnamdi Kanu to be set free. And you forget that people's livelihoods are being damaged. You forget that the source of feeding their families is being damaged. Sitting at home, of what economic value is it to the Southeast? Let us ask ourselves this question. It is an issue we need to discuss. Of what economic value is it to the Southeast? If you want to sit at home, if you want to pressurize government, go and sit at home in Abuja. Then you will know that, yes.
Are you encouraging the
they should go to the Abuja and sit at home. You don't sit at home in Southeast and you say you're holding you're pressurizing the government. What government are you pressurizing?
All right.
Are you stopping Soludo or what's his name? The one in Imo State.
Your governor.
In Imo State, what's his name?
So we have someone on the line, sir.
Are you stopping them from operating? Are you stopping federal government from sending money to them? Please, Igbo people should be more careful, more reasonable, and more sincere with themselves.
All right. Hello, good evening, and welcome.
Precious.
Joe Valais is you now. I think he can trick me. I know you.
They cannot choke my voice, Precious. Those 2 days was like a whole year. Can you imagine?
Oh, stop it. But I'm going away again. I'm going for five whole days. So get ready to miss me. From Monday, you ain't gonna
announce
see me.
it early so that I will just go and take my pill for that. And
now I understand why Joe didn't call all this.
Dance. I'm going away on Monday. I'm traveling. I'll do a little trip out of the country from Monday. So you guys be nice to anybody who sits in for me.
Let me speak for
miss
myself.
me, but please be nice to anybody who sits in. And if I hear that you people have stopped answering and stop calling, I will quit to answer a fake woman leader, because he cannot call me woman leader. He cannot support our people.
Precious, you know what Rahim and Jude did when
I know they've been gossiping me. Rahim called me woman leader. I know.
They kept begging us that please, we should take it easy on them. That they are just sitting for Precious. Prince Chilaka witnessed one now. Prince Chilaka was in the studio.
Why do they do like this now? Let me go to pan a bit. When I leave my people, I beg. Go ahead, please.
We took it easy on them.
Hi,
Prince Chilaka. I greet you once again, and Mr. Kenobi.
Yeah, brother.
Man, let me quickly start from where the prince stopped. If we want to do sit at home, we should do it sit at home. Our shops that are in Lagos will not open on Monday. The ones that are in the hair, so everybody will sit at home. We know we are doing sit at home. That aside, Precious, when you read subsidy about electricity, I was upset.
Why would you be upset? And I reminded you of background story. Did you Google that thing I told you to Google? Did you see that news?
Precious.
Sir?
When you read that thing, I was telling myself, because nobody was with me, how is Mr. Kene and Mr. Chilaka analyze this news now? That somebody said subsidy is gone. He did not mention subsidy on petrol or anything. Subsidy is gone. And all of a sudden, we are hearing that they are paying subsidy on petroleum products. They are paying it on oh my God. You see, it looks like me. Something that is coming into my head is what I want to say. Don't tell me I'm not correct. So my brain is telling me that this thing called subsidy is entering into somebody's purse or pocket. So they are telling us that they are paying it so that the money will be able to travel to somewhere. Precious, what is this mathematics? That when petrol was about 180 something naira under Muhammad Buhari, we were told that subsidy paid on each liter of petrol was less than 50 naira. And all of a sudden, when subsidy was pronounced gone, petrol now leapt from 250 as was supposed to be to 488 naira per liter. That was the first time it went up. What is the mathematics behind that? Were they telling us that the federal government was paying over 200 or 300 naira to subsidize the liter of petrol that time?
Just like we're subsidizing when we were supposed to be subsidizing. To be subsidizing electricity, we're paying only 650 billion naira for the tariff for the electricity subsidy. But right now that we're not paying more electricity tariff because we removed subsidy from it from some people, we're not paying more subsidy again. I don't know whether you get my point. So everything is subsidy.
Is this not voodoo? Is this not veranda?
So now this is the news I was talking about. If you read this day on 12th of March 2022, there is a headline that reads FG has quietly removed all power sector subsidies. Another one, Punch, March 12, 2022, we've quietly removed electricity fuel subsidy, credited to Zainab Ahmed, then finance minister. Is in Vanguard, is in most of the newspapers. So if they have quietly removed it, it is there. Google it, please. Google it.
Precious. Is that not
so if this subsidy, if electricity subsidy had been removed in Buhari's administration in 2022, as said by Zainab Ahmed, the then finance minister, how come we're saying that we're not paying 2.3 trillion naira or 2.4 trillion naira for the same electricity subsidy again, even when we're paying more money on electricity tariff? I don't understand.
Precious, let me drop so that others can call.
Oh, yeah, talk quick.
It was in this country that the greatest voodoo happened. Somebody went to paint an airplane and called it Nigerian Air. In fact, he went to do fanfare in UK, painted it, told us that this is our plane. The thing fled off this country. Till today, we have not seen anything called Nigerian Air. That money went to the drain. Nobody was arrested. Priscilla was just saying that President said those who were doing this subsidy thing, they'll be brought to book. Has he brought anybody to book for that voodoo Nigerian Air that happened? How do we now believe? Look at that, what is it called in River State, your state? Refinery. Is now blending. Blending.
You go to talk to my states with capital later, I beg.
Precious, your state is where they are now going to blend.
That is, Rivers is a new mortar.
Blend, yes, so that they will
Oh, yeah, bye.
blend. Oh my God.
Jova, bye. Hello, good evening and welcome. Have I lost you? Good evening and welcome. Hello? Are you there? I don't understand what's happening to my phone lines, but let me quickly go back to the messages. Oops. My message box is so full. Oops. All right, so let's see what we get started now. I go to Amechi from Mafuluku that he says, good evening, precious Prince Chilaka, Ikene, and VOP family. First, happy birthday to my son, Akachukumavelas. Happy birthday to you. Wishing you all the best. Now, he said, this abuse and human rights of the people of Southeast, especially youths by police, army, other security agencies, is what is fueling insecurity in the Southeast. Please, did the court award any compensation to the acquitted youth? None that I noticed. The governors and other leaders in the Southeast are only there for their political ambitions. That's why someone like Ruben Abati will vomit what he did. And no governor or commissioner of information could respond to such barbaric assertion. Let Abuja let us choose our leaders instead of people like Amechi. I'll not mention name. Okay, good evening, Precious and Ekene and Prince Chilaka. Welcome back. Welcome back, Bread Dina. Conchapam. Don't forget, countries look for investors. Why can't they come to Nigeria? 2024 World Tourist Award World Tourist Award goes to your guests. Your guess is as good as mine, my brother. Your own is also as good as mine, Frank from Eba sending that message. And Gabriel says, the problem is not the Igbo politics or politicians or leader. The problem is the government. Did you know that the man who said that what Hope is doing is not good in Nemo State is missing? Oh, wait, Nonsonkwa.
No, Nonsonkwa. Also, what do they call
So, but have they released?
He's a former
Nonsonkwa?
commissioner.
Have they released Nonsonkwa?
No, he has not.
So Nonsonkwa is still
He's
held,
still in-
and then another man is still in captivity.
He just arrested him, I think, 2 days, yesterday or day before.
So both him and Nonsonkwa are large.
No. Nonsonkwa has been going to court.
Has been he's
Yes.
okay.
Even this one, the police have said that they arrested him.
And what's their crime really?
Well, you know, when I say the man you have in Imo State, you're asking me my governor. When you have a governor who has become a dictator, Imo State, if he's a governor of the people, like he claims, by now, Hope Uzodinma should be able to tell us who the unknown gunmen are.
Because he's the chief security officer of the
Yes.
state.
So if, as a governor, he's unable to tell us who the so-called unknown gunmen in Imo State are, then I don't know what he's doing there as a governor.
All right. So moving on to the more messages, since our phone lines are really very crappy this evening, I'll get back to those calls right away. Good evening, Precious. Welcome back from Abuja. I did not go to Abuja. Okay, so guys, I will let you know where I went to, and I'm going to post it on my Facebook and Instagram, and you see pictures by tomorrow morning on where I went to. I went to interview one of the governors within the Southwest, and you see pictures from my Facebook, Instagram to know who exactly I went to interview. So you get to, but he's a governor from the Southwest. I didn't go to Abuja, please. Good evening, Precious. Welcome back from Abuja. I wanted to cry when I didn't hear from you. Oh, stop it. I like it. Oh, please don't cry. I thought you have gone away. I didn't, Flores. I'm not going away. I'm not going nowhere. Ekaro, my two bosses, engineer Lasso come here, aka Mr. Lasso, Omo iya mala lati ijeshata do mushin. This Yoruba I go don't speak and well. She speak assembly by bi o she qualify COAS Lieutenant Oloyede confirmation lana.
Harry.
Benny. That's in you talk, Benny. He says that Lieutenant General and Armed Forces of Nigeria, instead of him to say Lieutenant General Oloyede confirmed as chief of she rehearsal dada ni abi iwa adoju tini lagbaya woni. Oga, will you help me out here?
I don't know what you're reading.
Please forgive me. But it was fun. I last time reading those messages. Hi, Precious. Answer to your question on why Southeastern political pretenders cannot speak for Igbo interests, because they are compromised and have mortgaged their souls, except for Alex Ochi, who recently won election in Abia State. Why has he not been speaking? These young people, did he not know about them? Now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is only accepted leader of most Igbo people. For those illegally arrested by the Nigerian police and false charges, they must sue the Nigerian government for violating their basic human right. Who is the oil minister? Does the box stop on his table? Olodia Papa. I'm Austin from Olodia Papa sent in that. All right, moving on. Good evening, Precious and the gentlemen in the studio. My own is that let them have two types of filling stations: blended fuel station and oh God, Nigerians, can you guys just stop? It's a blended fuel station and Dangote fuel station. Make I know the one that they buy. I won't mind Dangote for a healthy engine. And then it says, as for the tax, Lagos still ask for tax clearance from poor people in public schools before enrollment. Collect taxes from pure water and soda sellers. How will Tinubu tax reform help the poor if this is the case? Precious, your voice is sweet. Oh, stop it.
Dr.
Chief
Fabian.
Udo sent in that.
Dr. Fabian.
Okay.
Ihekweme.
The one that was arrested.
Yes, I think he used to be a commissioner under Hope.
Hope Uzodinma too. That is the person whom he served under. He criticized the person.
Yes. The man, the criticism was something else.
Oh wow!
It was off the
But
book.
I like to understand something. Is it that there's truly no freedom of information or freedom of expression in the country? Especially when you speak against a politician.
The thing
But
is,
politicians can speak against each other.
Yes,
Nothing will happen.
yes.
But once any other person speaks.
yes, and you know the thing is
That's
this.
a way of repressing the people. It's a very big strategy, right? To put fear in the minds of the people so you don't talk.
Also,
In fact, I remember when Hakim was there, he had all manner of people around him. If you talk bad about him or his government, he knows how to treat you. So that's a strategy, and they use it all over. It's only in Lagos here and Abuja, cosmopolitan states that we can all speak, and then
No, but you see, my worry also is the fact that the state governors will tell you, we are the chief security officer on paper. In practice, we are not, because you cannot control the police, commissioner of police, who has to report to the IG. You cannot move the police, you cannot move the army. But when they want to arrest their political opponents, the commissioner of police is available to be used. See the irony.
All right, so moving on to some messages on YouTube now. Well says, I remember my sister lost a great opportunity because of this sit-at-home thing. You are on comment section here and saying da. He said a lot. Dear Precious, you're highly welcome from Abuja to not Abuja. I was within the southwest. I went to interview a governor, and I say, welcome to your intelligence analyst. Hope you are unpacked. I've not unpacked, my brother. Come and help me. I need help because the luggage was very luggaging. Ihediora Chuku says, why are you not? What happened? And Daily Cute said, Imo State Governor Hopozodema is a tyrant and he should be. Oh wow. Okay. Going back to more messages here. Busy Brain says, stop it, you miss me. Chinonso Samuel says, that's one thing about the North. They are always proactive while Easterners will just be complaining. Unique David says, Precious, where was Aline Dume when the changing of the national anthem was hastily changed? He was part of the Senate. He said that the changing was hastily changed. It's a rhyme for me. Maureen, okay, I see you. Speak Less says, Long Live Prince. You always speak what? Long live Prince Shilaka. You are a great man. Keep your good work moving forward. Precious, always looking. Oh, thank you. Obed Oji says, thank God Almighty, the program anchor is back on track. Oh, believe you just took a break. Something. I'm going back again. I told you, yeah. I'm going back again. From Monday, I'll be away till Friday. So please bear with me. I'm say where Monday work now, where the chop, and on to say I will cry the sea road. I will go cry small maker for sea road. Hello, good evening and welcome.
Hello, good evening. Jason.
Yes, you're welcome. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Welcome back.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
My name is Mayor from Tech.
You're welcome, Mr. Mayor. Go ahead.
Good evening to President Shilak and Mr. Kenneth.
Good evening.
You're welcome, bro.
I think we are in a civilian dictatorship. That is just the crux of the matter, because the way this government is going, I'm afraid if something is not done fast, this administration might be better than the Abacha's own. Thank you.
All right, this one here says, Precious, thank you. He said, I believe you went to France with the president as APC woman leader. Well, I don't know. The day where my feather go reach like that, says, wait, we're still believing or waiting for the federal government to tell us that they borrow the refinery, because that's how they borrow airline to show Nigerians. Anyway, anyone who believes what they are doing no go near heaven gates. Why now? Nobody they happy for this Port Harcourt refinery drama. Okay. Angel Perenge from Alagbodo sent in that message. Why now? Why are you guys losing confidence and faith in your government? John from Ejeniki says, is there something we don't know about this tax reform? Because the way those northerners are against it, it's Precious. Please, did we elect Tinubu as a diaspora president? Because we hardly spend a week in this country. He does spend. Please. Good evening, VOP. Releasing those Igbo men are welcome development for judiciary. Tony Mas from Ilasama just sent in that. And good evening. We need electrical reform that will make Nigerians vote electronically, not tax reform for corrupt politicians or individuals. And he says the French president is confused because Tinubu did not build Lagos. That's what you said. And then Precious, welcome. I greet your guest. Precious, if it were to be an Igbo people that was arrested in end bad governance, by now they would have been in prison. I weep for Igbos. And then, good evening, Precious. My name is Emeka. Please, is Alex Oti still building the seaport in Abia State? We're waiting to hear. VOP Chilaka says some men are raping their wives. How did he get a daughter? Does it mean that he raped his wife? Oh my God, Emmanuel. Please, Prince Chilaka, I'll oblige you.
Well, maybe he doesn't understand the meaning of rape and he needs to be tutored.
Okay.
Rape means when you take carnal knowledge of somebody without the person's consent. Even in marriage, both parties must agree. It must be consensual. Once it is not consensual, it is rape and abuse, period.
Okay, all right. I hope with these few points of his, he's been able to convince you and not confuse you that he did not rape to get his daughter cleared. All right, good evening, Madam Precious. It's unfair that even in your radio station, you select people to take their calls. Oh, Sammy, that's not true. That's so not correct because I don't even know the people who might take their calls. I pick these calls randomly. Please, Precious, ask the man asking the Southeast to sit at home if he is based in the Southeast, because I have found out that most of the people encouraging sit at home are outside the Igbo land.
Thank you.
They are not
Absolutely.
feeling it. I know some of them in Lagos, and the way I see them, they can't stay out of their businesses, even for one day. Chinemere from Agbara sent in that message.
That is the truth.
And
Very-
this says,
very apt.
I
Very
wonder,
apt question.
especially those in the diaspora, they've been abusing you.
Let them abuse me
on
because
YouTube.
they're all knockheads. All of them in diaspora that are supporting this at home, they are hopeless. Honestly speaking, you can't stay abroad enjoying your life, carrying on with your daily livelihood.
right.
Do you know
and
they're
then you come here and you're asking the Igbos to sit at home? What kind of nonsense is that?
So, but how about if they're sitting at home on Mondays in their countries too,
It is not no.
in solidarity with their brothers in the Southeast?
That's not possible.
They will get sacked. You think the way they
That's
work?
not possible.
You think the way we work?
It is solidarity.
Wait.
It is civil disobedience,
Precious,
sir.
you think the way we work here carelessly is how they work abroad? They work their ass out.
No, because this is very important. They are very passionate. You know,
No, it's not.
I should not
It's,
talk about
it's misinformation
It's not possible.
and the fact that they are all brainwashed.
Yes, it's not possible.
Okay. Ujo Michael says Dangote, a private sector, already overlisted price per litre, even at 970. The federal government owned that is expected to be the saving grace of the masses, came up with further exorbitant rate. What is wrong with these people? They are toying with the masses' existence. After all, they got everything for free, so they don't feel the pains the masses are feeling. That's what you said. Precious, it's like Chilaka doesn't understand the meaning of protest. Does protest bring economic benefit? While protesting, you must be ready to lose things. While going out to protest, can you leave your business place open? Since they kill us if we go out to protest, we choose to sit at home. Chilaka, why must we go out to Abuja to protest? Is Abuja Biafra land? I'm going to be from 7 and 8 ask that question.
Wait, Precious, please hold on. When you say Biafra land, you have Simon Ekpa in Philippines claiming to
Finland.
be in Finland claiming to be the prime minister, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
In exile.
Yes, sir.
So when he gets Biafra, he will come from exile to rule. Is that what people are thinking about? If you're doing civil disobedience, if you want to do something, civil disobedience that you will do must affect the government in power. That is when the government.
But that is
will
not to
take
say
you
that you're
serious.
encouraging anybody to do that on radio, please.
I'm coming.
We have to.
I
get
am
it
not
correct.
encouraging anybody, but I'm
Okay.
saying that
Thank you.
for anybody saying they want to do civil disobedience in a country like Nigeria, not in the Southeast, you want the federal government to feel you? Go to Abuja and do it. Let us see. And like Jova has said, every Monday, let all the Igbos close their shops
Across the world.
across the world. Even those who work in America, wherever, don't go to work. Then we will know you're serious. You don't sit down in your house where you're comfortable. Your shop in Ladipo is open 247. Your shop in Trade Fair is open 247. And you're supporting those non-entities asking you to sit at home in the Southeast.
All right. Okay. Good evening, Precious. Ibrahim from Iyanikwaja. Greetings to the guest. About the bill, write it down, is against the masses, but Southerners are against it because of Northerners. But Tinubu know how to play his divisive politics. He did it in Lagos. The bill is against the masses. It's passed. If it's passed, you will see it. Reading your Yoruba message, I'm rolling here. I'm sorry, forgive me. So I don't mean to, make jokes of it. I honestly cannot speak Yoruba to save my life, and I tried my best to see what I could do in reading that. Good evening, Auntie Precious and gentlemen in the press. Auntie Precious, welcome back. Oh, I missed you. Thank you. I'm fine. Hi, Precious and wonderful gentle guests. God bless you all. Always. Season's greetings. It's true. From Monday night, 1st December. Hey, wait. This guy. Oh yeah, 1st December. Yeah, this kind of talk from France president made the young man give him a dirty slap. Forgive me, I don't mean to laugh. All right, good evening, Madam President. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
You remember the incident? And for those who remember, for those who don't remember, please go and verify. P and August in the house, please. I really need to ask Baba Egbetokun a lot of questions. Nigerian police are killing us citizens, especially the ones in Isheri pipeline bus stop, Igondo police, Iba police, Isheri police, Ijegun. These people will do stop and search, arrest you on something you didn't do, and tell you they can do anything that no one will question them. Please help us. Police in these areas will arrest you and tell you say they could do you anything and nothing you go do. Oh wow. So every night I'll be begging my wife, you told me here. No wonder our fathers used to marry more than one wife. Igbos can say, let us wear black Isiago clothes every Friday as support of that Igbos can say let's wear black Isiago clothes every Friday in support of Nnamdi Kanu, but not to so that could be a way forward. Is that what you mean?
For me, that is something. Anything you're doing that does not stop the livelihood of another person, let us do it. But this sit at home, these are non-gun men. We need to bring it to a stop in the southeast.
All right, Mr. Kenobi, apologies. I kept you beyond your time.
No, it's okay.
Your parting shots.
Still the same thing we've been saying. Nigerians should continue to think this country. Things really have gone so bad that it's very easy to have a very more like get dispirited about the country, but we should continue to think Nigeria and do the needful, especially those in government, to bring about the peace that we need.
All right, thank you. Before I ask you your own, and I know that you may have to chime in on the Southeasterners because they're on your wall. They're already seeing a few things. So let me quickly let you all know. As I said earlier, I will be out of town for a couple of days and weeks. Please do bear with us. And hey, by the time I see you again, it would have been December. And you all know my birthday is 1st of January. So like I always do every 1st of January, I told you for the past 20 years, over 2 decades of this profession, I've always spent that day in either an orphanage or giving alms to the needy. For the past 2 years, we went out to the slum to give to people who could not afford food. But for this year, I'm looking at medical care, affording medical care for those who are really in need of it, who would help people, at least with hypertension, to get their medication for about 6 months. Will help people with diabetes to get their medications for a couple of months, and that will cost me a lot of money because we'll be giving this medication to people who cannot afford those medications. So, I'll be needing your help to get that done by 1st of January. And I know you guys can help me make that happen because we'll reach out to as many people as possible, because as we give them drugs, we still give them food to chop, because they will get to chop before they take the medicine. So, Prince Francis Chilaka, your parting shots.
Well, those who are busy abusing me for my position, my viewpoint on the Southeast, I think they are the ones who need to go and see a psychiatric. Yes, they need to, because if only they know the damage they have caused the Southeast, if they know how many people have died as a result of their senseless sit at home. If you want to do something and you want that thing to affect the life of others, you must think of it positively. The sit at home in the Southeast that is being enforced by charlatans, by rogues, by non-gunmen, by those who claim to be defenders of Biafra government in exile, honestly, you're killing the Southeast. You cannot kill your own people and claim that you're fighting for their rights. It's never done. All
right. Yeah, y'all on social media, how can they reach you?
Facebook, Ekenobi, Ekene first on Instagram, and then first Ekene on X.
Okay.
Prince Francis Chilaka on Facebook. I think
Prince Chilaka on
YouTube.
Chilaka
on YouTube. Okay. Those are,
and they will come there because you go and drop.
No, let them come. I'm waiting for them. I'm waiting for them.
All right, my name is Precious Enyi. You can catch me on YouTube at Precious Enyi TV on YouTube. I love you and appreciate you. So my social media handles for those whom I'll be dropping the tip on where I went to is on Facebook and Instagram at Precious Enyi Official on Instagram and Precious Enyi on Facebook. But I could also drop that scoop on YouTube at Precious Enyi TV. That is it on YouTube. On YouTube, I'm quite, reactive and I respond to that's the only social media I have strength for, because the other ones, old age will not let me pay attention to it. So it's Precious Enyi TV on YouTube. I love you guys. I see you again, second week of December. Please, whatever you do, protect your mental health. I love you guys deeply. Don't miss me too much. Good night and God bless you.